This is QTV News. I am Marietu Sidibe and thanks for joining us. Coming up, the TRRC hears from a witness who was the first woman to publicly accuse former President Jammeh of rape. A dump site which had forced the closure of a school is cleared and the school reopened after a QTV report exposed the story. Today is the UN's designated World Cities Day, with this year's sub-theme being Better City, Better Life. The long-awaited Access to Information Bill gets closer to being presented to Parliament, and we hear about a workshop to validate the draft document. For more on these and other stories, stay tuned. Fatou Toufa Jallow, the 2014 Miss July 22nd beauty pageant winner, who was the first woman to go public about being raped by ex-President Jammeh, appears at the TRRC and gives a shocking account of her ordeal and says Jammeh injected her before penetrating her. Babukar C. reports.
Fatou Toufa Jallow recalled participating in the Miss July 22nd pageant in November of 2014, where she qualified to the final stage of the competition. In the grand final, Miss Jallow took first position in the tertiary category. She received a call summoning her to State House as the President Jammeh was to receive an international award. Despite trying various ways to get out of the invitation, she received various phone calls, including from her mom, persuading her to attend. After that event, the president met all the girls briefly and gave her $50,000, with the rest giving different amounts. There was later an official courtesy meeting with the girls and ministers at the State House, where she said the president advised them to take their education seriously. A laptop, phone, gold coin, and a cash prize of $200,000 was awarded to her by the president. On the 3rd of January 2015, she received a call from President Jammeh telling her to go to State House and discuss about her pageant project with the president. She said a driver picked her up at around 10 p.m. and drove to State House. After a long chat with Jammeh about the competition, education, and her project, Jammeh offered to give her $100,000, even though had costed it at $60,000. She said the president told her that she is brilliant and was thinking of offering her a job as a protocol officer. She confirmed that on one occasion, she and Jimbe went shopping, bought furniture, and had water connected to the family home, all sponsored by Jammeh. This was followed by many other night events from hotels to Makati Square and Kanilai. On another visit to the State House, she alleges that the president proposed marriage.
I was set aback because a father has just broken what it is that we have kind of built. So I thought it was a joke, and I thought, oh, maybe he's testing me. Because Jammeh has told me time and time again to not concentrate on men, to not mind men, to concentrate on my career and my education. So to me, I thought it was a test, especially after talking immediately from talking with his wife.
According to Toufa, then came a night when Jammeh took her in a room, locked the door, and told her, "Let's see if you are a virgin."
He held my face. He pulled his pants down and he rubbed his genitals in my face. So Jammeh decided to penetrate me, but before he did, he took out a needle from his pocket and he injected me on my arm. I'm not sure of what it is or what it was for. Jammeh did not want sex with me or pleasure with me. What he wanted to do was to hurt me.
According to Toufa, whilst Jammeh was allegedly raping her, there was a Quranic recitation going on as the night was a Gamo night with different Islamic scholars at the State House. Toufa later fled the country to Senegal and subsequently to Canada, where she successfully acquired an asylum. In her closing remarks, she criticized a culture that requires a woman to be quiet even if she is being killed. Babukar C, QTV News.
A hazardous dump site near Old Yundum Lower and Upper Basic School that prompted the closure of the school for 2 weeks has been cleared. This followed a QTV report about the possible health complication from smoke emitted by the burning garbage. Momono Gajaga reports.
Everyone deserves to live in a healthy environment, especially students. Knowing the urgency, the community took the initiative to clear the dump site. The foul smell and smoke emitted from the burning garbage prompted the school principal to announce a temporary closure of the school.
Actually, we have waste management problem in Olyundum. As you were told, or as you may have heard, our schools like the lower basic school and the upper basic school are not operating for the past 3 days simply because we have a very, very serious garbage management here in our community. Thank God, as a VDC and as a community, we were able to mobilize resources in consultation with the Brikama Area Council. So this is why today we are here to, work on this garbage to make sure that we have our children back to school.
But how on earth does a place close to a public school and an important road get transformed into a dump site? The Jabang Ward Councillor, Alaji Sow, tells us how it all began.
We didn't identify this place for a dumping place. We already identified a particular place that is at the market area, whereby this, whatever the market have been generating in terms of waste, they will just try and then dump it there. But here is not a dumping area.
Mr. Sow also calls for a serious change of attitude in terms of waste disposal, especially at public places, including schools and roadsides. It is widely believed that most of the waste dumped at this site is generated from the old Yundum market. This is the chairman of the market committee. He says people should be responsible citizens and take care of their own environment.
This is due to improper management of the market. I believe that we need to take ownership of our environment. And I think it's important that we change our attitude towards our behaviors. You see, this village or Gambia belongs to Gambians.
Until drastic measures are taken to deal with waste disposal and management, not even our schools will be spared the menace of indiscriminate waste dumping. At the time, the headmaster of the school has stressed that the school would not resume unless the smoke emitting from the dump site is stopped. Now that the dump site is cleared, we hope that classes will resume to normal as soon as possible. What happened here is a stark warning that we need to be serious about waste management. Cleaner environments improve our quality of life and prolong our life expectancy. Today is World Cities Day, which emphasizes that better waste management will create better lives and better cities. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
The United Nations General Assembly has designated the 31st of October as World Cities Day. The day is to be used to promote the international community's interest in global urbanization, and this year's theme is A Better City, Better Life. The UN image chosen to represent the day this year is of Monrovia, Liberia. Here's a message about the day from Ahmed Talib Bensouda, the Lord Mayor of Kanifing Municipal Council.
Hello, my name is Talib Ahmed Bensouda, the Lord Mayor of the Kanifing Municipality, and today, the 31st of October, is designated by the United Nations General Assembly as World Cities Day. As we look towards raising awareness on sustainable development and social inclusion, the KMC has strived during the past year to bring about developments in waste management, developments in youth employment, and women empowerment to ensure that our city is more socially inclusive and we have more sustainable development. As you have noticed, we have brought initiatives including the Mbalit Project, the $100 million for Women Empowerment Fund, and youth programs that seek to employ youth-driven businesses. I implore all cities to follow suit with KMC, and I wish all of you a happy World Cities Day.
The Gambia Press Union holds a 2-day workshop to validate the draft Access to Information Bill. The draft information bill will be subject to a technical review by a multi-stakeholder committee. Aisha Jan reports.
The Gambia Press Union, through the Civil Society Coalition on Freedom of Information, organized a validation workshop to give people from diverse walks of life the opportunity to have their views captured in the document before the enactment by the National Assembly. A lawyer who drafted the bill, Hawasise Sabali, says drafting the bill was a captivating experience. She adds that the bill has been through thorough analysis and expert review. She gives a brief explanation of the processes involved.
I took inspiration from the AU model on draft access to information and also the Inter-American model. And I must say that I chose to follow, to some extent, the Inter-American model because it did remove that access to a private individual's records.
The president of the Gambia Bar Association, Saliu Tal, says the Center of Law for Democracy in Canada, that rates access to information ATI laws globally, has given the Gambia's ATI bill a high score ranking of 116 out of 150. He gives the importance of an ATI law.
Having access to information law in place would help ensure transparency and accountability of government. Similarly, it will help the citizenry to form informed opinions. Let me boldly say that the promulgation of an access to information law is a sine qua non for good governance. And this is also in line with the government's number one strategic priority in our NDP.
Nafisi Soho, a representative for the Minister of Justice, says the right to free speech by the media must be complemented by the right to access to information. She further extends the support of the Gambian government.
The government of the Gambia is very committed in creating transparency, pluralistic and democratic society. The Ministry of Justice in particular is very passionate and committed about creating and opening a democratic space by engaging and encouraging civil societies to take the lead in the successful drafting of the Access to Information Bill, all in the best interest of the society.
President of the Gambia Press Union, Sheriff Bojang Jr., says access to basic information in all sectors of the economy is a necessity if the quest for democratic reforms in the country are to be achieved. He urges participants to commit to the process to further enrich the document.
We want to call on everybody who is participating in this two-day exercise to take it very seriously, because what we validate will say a lot about how we operate and how we live as a people, as a fraternity, and as a country.
Some believe that if passed and made use of, the Access to Information Law Bill will put the Gambia on the map as a human rights capital of Africa. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice is expected to present the bill before the National Assembly by December 2019. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aisha Jain.
We will go with a short commercial break. When we return, we hear about how some thieves finally ran out of luck, and we also hear about how the Gambia Standards Bureau commemorates World Standards Day. Do stay tuned.
Why wouldn't you? When you get to enjoy your massive 50% reduction on your pay-as-you-go data tariff. You know you get to enjoy such amazing discounts with QCell's fantastic network. Enjoy our reduced pay-as-you-go data tariff every day from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. No subscription, no validity period. Simply recharge your account and off you go. QCell, the Gambia's quality network.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Welcome back. The Gambia Police Force have arrested several people in connection with breaking and entry and stealing in the Brusubi area. According to the police PRO, the men were arrested following a report about stolen items. Bintu Koka tells us more.
The valuable items were allegedly stolen from different places within the Brusubi area. The thieves ran out of luck around Sukuta, where they were arrested. The stolen and recovered items include television, a PlayStation, food items, and jewelry. The Public Relations Officer of Gambia Police Force ASB Lamin Jai explains. Kebali, one of the victims living at Kirsering, said he sustained some injuries at the time of the breaking in, as he tried to stop the thieves from escaping. He, however, expressed gratitude that his stolen items were recovered. ASP Lamin Jai advises the public to be more careful and vigilant in their environment. He also advised residents to report theft cases or abnormal activities to the police. He further encouraged people to take details of taxis when boarding them, as there are reports that thieves sometimes use taxis to carry out their activities. PRO Njai says the Gambia Police Force is making all efforts to reduce the crime rate in the country. Bintu Koka, QTV News.
The Gambia Standards Bureau on Thursday commemorates World Standard Day. The event was used to create awareness and update the National Assembly members on information sharing. Mam Jara ACC reports.
Established by the government through an Act of Parliament in 2010, the Gambia Standards Bureau mission is to standardize goods, service, and system in accordance with internationally recognized procedures to enhance industrial growth and efficiency, facilitate trade, promote health, safety, and environmental protection. The information gathered at the event by the parliamentarians is expected to be extended to their various constituencies. The Bureau contributes in various sectors, especially in the agricultural sector, which subsidize in the development of the country. The Gambia in the past has been facing lots of challenges in trade and in the agricultural sector, particularly in the cash crop aspect, particularly groundnuts, which are affected by specific poisons. Papa Seka, the Director General of the Gambia Standards Bureau, says the Gambia export of groundnut to the EU countries has been showing in high rates of aflatoxins, which is unacceptable.
The EU sent to the Gambia government in June that they are going to apply much more stringent measures on mainly the main export of the Gambia, which is groundnuts, come September. Our role is cross-cutting in all sectors of the economy, covering all strata of society. What about public efficiency, service delivery, which are a core, or I would say a very important issue that we all know you keep hammering at the National Assembly.
The Majority Leader of National Assembly, Keba Kebaro, addresses the issue of the unacceptable measurement methods used by market traders in the country.
We still go to the shops and also in other major business centers people are still using pounds, ounces, and also things, and they are using yards for measurements, which is a cheating. They are cheating the populace because you are supposed to do all your measures when it comes to weights in kilos, not in pounds. You are supposed to do all your measures in meters and not in yards. So these are things that need to be clear to the people. And when it comes to the production and improvement of services, especially the basic food intakes of the Gambian populace, that's the bread, all those measurements need to be put in place.
Amadou G. Jallo, Standards Officer at the Gambia Standards Bureau, explains the importance of standardization in every developing country.
They are very keen on standardization. If you want to be on the same par with those developed countries, you need to standardize your systems and your processes as well. So we are working towards making sure that all our processes and our systems are standardized so that we can compete with other countries around the world.
Awa Jeng, Certification Officer of the Gambia Standards Bureau, explains the encounters they face during the conformity assessment.
Of accredited laboratories in the Gambia, because most of this testing we do, we have to send samples outside the Gambia to accredited labs, just to make sure that we have results that can be trusted. Once a lab is accredited, nobody challenges the results they provide. So this is the main challenge. It's been very costly. Sending samples outside Gambia just to test.
The Gambia Standards Bureau is composed of representatives from the government. The Bureau disseminates information and promotes standards for public welfare, health and safety. Reporting for QTV News, I am Mamjara Isise.
A ceremony for microcredit beneficiaries was organized by the National Association for Cooperative Credit Unions of the Gambia in partnership with the German Savings Bank Foundation for International Cooperation. The aim is to empower young Gambian entrepreneurs in the fight against irregular migration. Aisha Jan reports.
Junior long-term expert of German Savings Bank Foundation for International Cooperation, Felix Amoako Boampong, says SBFIC project aims to combat irregular migration by training 1,200 farmers and small-scale enterprises on entrepreneurship and financial literacy. He gives a brief overview of the project.
We are looking at 1,200 Gambian youth between the ages of 18 to 35 for males, 18 to 45 for females. We are looking at two sectors now, the agricultural sector and the other retail industries. We are targeting 900 MSMEs and we are targeting 300 farm-related businesses.
Long-term expert SBFIC Bernd Werdenbach says SBFIC supports saving banks, cooperative banks and retail banks around the globe, empowering them to operate professionally and profitably to fulfill their mandate. Florence Mendy, Training and Research Officer of the project, says the project provides the selected beneficiaries with individually tailored coaching programs offered by highly trained business consultants. Finance and Administrator Manager of NACU says the gathering coincides with World Savings Day. He gives a brief overview of savings for its members in the Gambia. Past beneficiary of the project and founder of BK's Farm Market, Pendaba, gives a brief testimony of her success. She further shares a word of advice to young aspiring entrepreneurs.
At the beginning of my project, all I got was the idea to come up with a mini market that would be unique and more impactful. But today, I am pleased to tell you that I was where you are right now. BK's Farm Market would soon be inaugurated thanks to NACUC and the SBFIC. I would just like to advise young entrepreneurs. In business, if you can't fly, then try to run. And if you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But no matter what, just keep on moving.
Beneficiary Omar Juf, founder of Juice Provisions, says finance has been the biggest challenge he faced in operating his business. He shares the importance of the ceremony as well as a word of advice to the youth that embark on irregular migration.
We can make it in the Gambia here if we want to make it,
because there are a lot of opportunities. We have a lot of nationalities coming out from other countries to seek for greener pasture in the Gambia. Why not us staying in our country and at least develop some things that will help us economically to be able to be participating in our development.
Established in 1992, NACUC has a membership of 79,000 nationwide. It aims to enhance the financial empowerment of credit unions in the Gambia through needs-based, affordable, and methodically good measures of vocational education, as well as providing entrepreneurship loans. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aisha Jan.
Before we end this bulletin of the news, let's take a quick look at our main stories. The TRRC hears from a witness who was the first woman to publicly accuse former President Jammeh of rape. A dump site which had forced the closure of a school is cleared, and the school reopened after a QTV report exposed the story. Today is the UN's designated World Cities Day, with this year's sub-theme being Better City, Better Life. The long-awaited Access to Information Bill gets closer to being presented to Parliament, and we hear about a workshop to validate the draft document. That's all we have for you in this bulletin of the news. Join us tomorrow for more news. Thank you for watching.